On June 3rd, I posted a video on how to build community and it went viral, okay? Almost 3 weeks later, we're at 542,000 views, 37,000 likes, 1,700 comments, 10,000 shares, and 13,000 saves. What does this tell me? It tells me that people are looking for community. It's been a huge conversation, I think, for a lot of people after the pandemic, almost 4 or 5 years later, but still it is something that people are seeking and looking for. And I think that's why the video went viral. I also think it's because the community of people that I've attracted online are highly motivated, working professionals, entrepreneurs that are building their businesses, building their lives. And it's really easy to neglect the community aspect of their life. And so I think this video went so viral because it just struck a chord with my community. It struck with a chord with so many people that saw it. And it's really what inspired me to want to record a podcast on it today. What challenges have I faced while building communities and how did I overcome them? So if I look back in the last 5-6 years of my life, there have been 2 moments when I really started to want to create more community in my life. The first one was, I would say, right after the pandemic, probably late 2020, early 2021, I had moved to Venice, California from a different part of LA, and I was really motivated to just expand my community in LA. Up until that point, I had lived in LA for 3 years, but I felt like I worked in LA rather than lived. And so that was a moment that I began to build community. Then the second chapter presently is when I moved to Austin, Texas back in September. Pretty much the first 3 months were focused in on kind of just getting this new home of ours situated. Then the next 3 months after that, we're focused on, okay, I'm quitting my job. I need to go all in my business. But now I'd say over the last 2 to 3 months, it's really been building on community. And the biggest challenges that come from building community is the uncomfortability of putting yourself into these environments to meet new people. That was the biggest challenge I faced when I was trying to build community in LA, and the same challenges I began to face when I was building community out here. And even more recently, as I'm going to events where I don't know anyone, I'm showing up to run clubs where I don't know anyone except one person, I'm like reminding myself, this is what I went through 2-3 years ago. I've done this before. And even when I was doing this in LA, it was challenging. Even as someone who's confident and, was clear on who he was and what he was doing, it does not make it easy. It is uncomfortable to show up to things where you don't know anyone, but it has to be done. And so the only way I was able to overcome the uncomfortability is by leaning into the discomfort of doing the thing, of going to the run club, of going to the dinner event, of saying yes to the meetup with someone that I just met for the first time. You don't know how things are going to shake out, but it's trusting that intuition that I feel like there's something there, or I really like this group that's meeting up that I want to go test out, or, I had one good conversation with this person. Maybe it does make sense for us to grab coffee. It's just kind of like enjoying the dance of just seeing where it can go. What do I do to create more community? So there's 4 things, and I highlighted this in the video that went viral. 4 things that have been crucial for me to build more community. Number 1 is signing up for events that focus around my interests. This has attracted others who have similar interests. So for me, let's even just focus in on the move out to Austin. I am so intentional with the events and things that I'm doing. And because of that, it's created this reality out here where all I'm surrounded by are people that think like me, are interested in the same things, etc. So I go to a weekly men's run club every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. I call it my men's dating pool. That's attracted men that are motivated for their fitness, that are, most of them just, inspiring working professionals in a lot of different things. So I'm very mindful of what I'm signing up for, because I understand what I sign up for is going to attract other similar people. You will not catch me at a bar here in Austin, because that's not my goals. That's not my interest anymore. And I think because I've gone to the run club, because I've said yes to these entrepreneur dinners, because I've said yes to networking events where it was just a bunch of creators with similar interests and mindsets, I literally have only been to the bar once in the 8 months that I've been here, twice actually. Once was because we were celebrating a friend's birthday. We were there for 20 minutes. The other time was friends that were in town had a movie premiere at South by Southwest, and they had an after party at a bar, so we went to support them. But other than that, I don't get invited to go to the bar because my community of people that I've cultivated out here don't have interest in being at the bar. So I just keep looking for things and keeping my eyes open for anything that's well-being, entrepreneur, outdoors focused, and that's how I've cultivated more of those people into my life. The next step is taking the initiative to introduce myself to new people in these environments. I like being the one to break the ice with a strong introspective question. This can be really hard, right? I'll give you an example. About a month and a half ago, I walked into a entrepreneur fitness community of 80 people, this event, and it was overwhelming because I literally knew no one except the man that was hosting it, but I still forced myself to go. I knew this would be a great place to meet new people, so I went. And I walked into the room. There's a bunch of people there that I don't know, and so I just kind of trust the flow of the room. Like I just walked up to the first person that looked like they were by themselves, and I just struck a conversation, and then that conversation led to another conversation with someone else. And I kind of just enjoyed this dance and flow of talking with people. But it's taking that initiative. It's recognizing, you know what, a lot of people here feel awkward, don't know anyone, and they're looking to build community as well. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. So I just walk up and I introduce myself. And that's when the second part comes into play, which is asking an introspective question. I try to avoid, what do you do? That just comes off as like me trying to audit who they are and can I get something from them? So a question that I find myself more often than not, I asked somebody yesterday at a sprint club that I became a part of is, what's a challenge you're focused on in your life right now, either personal or professional? And that just opens it up. It allows us to dig deep and just get to the core of who they are, what the challenges they're facing, and we just kind of chat through them. So I think asking a very thoughtful question can really open up the conversation and just allow you to drop in instead of, where are you from? Oh, the weather out here today. Like those are just surface level. Let's get deep. And so I try to really do that as quickly as possible when I'm meeting someone for the first time. Number 3, following up and creating intentional one-on-one moments with people after. Coffee or workouts work best for me. So think of it like this. I go to these events where there's a lot of people. I use that as a funnel. There's 80 people in an event. I maybe will talk to 2, 3, 4 people at the most. I try not to overwhelm myself thinking I need to go navigate the entire room. And then from there, I'll grab people's numbers. I'll get people's Instagrams. And I will try to set up one-on-ones with people for at least an hour. Could be a walk, could be a workout, something like that. And that just allows the relationship to go deeper because now there's no distractions except myself and this individual, and we can drop in, we can talk about life, we can see where the conversation goes. But it's really important that I create these one-on-one connection moments with these people so I can get to know them. Otherwise, in these big environments, you can only drop in so deep, and then someone else joins the conversation, or you get pulled in a different direction, or there's an activity, there's an exercise. So I try to set up these one-on-one moments, and that has been really, really helpful for me. And I think just an hour makes sense. It doesn't need to be dinner, it doesn't need to be something formal, but I really like to combine 2 birds with 1 stone. So if it's coffee, if it's a walk, if it's a workout, if it's a sauna session, something that I already want to do, plus adding community, it's perfect. It's effective, it's efficient, and it works out really well. And then the last thing is, number 4, bringing together all of these great people by inviting them to experiences or group hangs, right? So this doesn't happen right out the gate, but this is kind of the phase that I'm finding myself in now, where the last 2 months I prioritized being a yes man, putting myself in these rooms, in these environments where maybe I don't know anyone, and just trying to get to know people. Now that I've started to build up a good amount of people that I've done one-on-ones with, that I met at events, that I feel like, ooh, I like these people, these are good vibes, good energy, Now I'm taking that initiative to bring these people together. It's not something that I need to do on a daily, weekly, maybe monthly basis, but I'm trying to do my part, right? There are people that are creating these spaces and experiences where I'm showing up and there's 80 people in the room, and that takes time, effort, and energy for them to create it. So now I'm trying to do my part, with an example being mid-July, I'm hosting what I'm calling 8 Great Men, a dinner hang at my home where I'm going to invite 8 to 10 guys to come over. And what they don't know yet is that I'll have, a question. We'll sit in a circle, we'll have food, and we'll kind of just drop in and have a great conversation. So that's not something I'm going to do every day or week. It's something I probably will strive every 6 to 8 weeks, because it does take effort and time to create these experiences and these moments, but it's taking that initiative. It's bringing people together and knowing now I can have the ripple effect on others and help them meet other great people and do my part in cultivating deeper community. So those have been the 4 simple steps that I take that have had such a positive ROI on building out my community. What type of community am I trying to build? Now, I've hinted on it a little bit throughout this episode, but it's really just people that are trying to better themselves. I don't need to be around a bunch of replicas of me, creators, entrepreneurs, etc. I just want to be around passionate people that are trying to better themselves, that prioritize their well-being, that truthfully, aren't really in the party lifestyle of wanting to get hammered every weekend. I've been there, I've done that. Like, I don't judge people if they drink. That's totally up to them. I just don't want to be around people where that's like the main thing, because I've done it. I did it through my mid-20s, late 20s. I had a blast, but it's just not it's not an interest of mine anymore. So I think just finding people where there's a lot of common interests, I want to keep building around those people, because I know the ripple effects will have a huge impact on just the community that I cultivate out here. What are the benefits of having an aligned community? I think it's so important to have people around you that uplift you, that make you feel good, right? Life is so much fun when you can experience it with others. And I'm very fortunate. I now have a fiance, which has been really exciting. 2 weeks ago, I got on the knee, and it was an incredible, and I'll record a podcast on that at some point. But it's like, we have each other, which is so amazing and loving and awesome. But what's that next layer? And it's community. It's having people to experience your birthdays with, holidays with, celebrations of life when you're hitting milestones, or going to certain life experiences and exploring Austin together with these people. So I think it's just another layer of life that is so important, that is so easy to neglect. And if you're business focused, you're like, what's the ROI? I'm not making money from it. It's not actually like helping me grow my business. But you can't really describe the feeling of having community. Like, we went to a triple date dinner night a couple nights ago, where we did dinner and then we did a game night, and we left just feeling so happy, because we just had such a great time, great conversations with this group, and you can't really put a price tag on that. And those are the in-between moments that are so important in life, that easily can get pushed off or neglected. And I just think there are so many upsides of having an aligned community, and every aspect of your life, I have found, increases. My well-being has increased. My intellectual stimulation has increased. My business has increased without intentionally trying to. Everything just grows when having the right aligned community around you. How do I measure the success of my community building efforts? That's one of those things where I really have not tried to beat myself up of like, if I go to that 80-person event, did I, find 3 or 4 new friends? Maybe I didn't find any friends at all. I have always judged or measured my success based on what's within my control. So did I go to an event this week? Did I say yes and try to set up a coffee meetup with someone that I met 2 weeks ago? Even if the coffee meetup doesn't shake out great, even if the event doesn't shake out great, I'm still focusing I'm putting in my best effort and energy. I'm putting my best foot forward to cultivate this community. I am more focused and measuring my success based on what is within my control, which is showing up and doing my best of trying to find these types of people and trying to create the community. So I try not to get too attached to the end result. I just try to show up and see what happens. There's 3 simple reminders I want to give to all of you as you're continuing to build community. One is it takes time. There's no way to speed up the process. Think of it like planting seeds, right? You plant seeds, you water it, you let it grow. It takes time. Consistency. You have to see people consistently in order to build a genuine and deep relationship. That's what I keep reminding myself as I'm building out this community here in Austin is it just takes time. I need to see people consistently over a period of time for them to become what feels like family, right? So I'm always looking for more touch points with people because I know the more touch points I have with them, the deeper our relationship will go. Number 2 is you're not going to get along with everyone, and that's okay, okay? Don't take it personally. Don't judge the other people. You are not going to be best friends with everyone. That's what I've learned is I'm not going to be aligned with every single individual, and it's kind of one of those unspoken things where I think we both leave that one-on-one or that conversation, and we just kind of know it's just like we're different people with different interests, different goals, and that's okay. I'm not going to put any energy to the relationship. They might not put any energy back, and that's okay. And I'll create space to find and cultivate community elsewhere. So just accepting that, not judging myself for it and not judging others makes it easy to just understand I'm not supposed to click with everyone. Because if I tried to do that, I'd be trying to people please, and that does not get me into a life that I want to create for myself. And number 3, it's a dance where both people need to put in the effort. So similar to what I was just saying, it is a dance. You have to be mindful of like, I'm always going to take the initiative. I'm always going to try to take that first step where, for instance, we had that date night. I met one of the 2 guys that were there. One of the guys I reached out to grab dinner with this upcoming Sunday. He's busy. It's all good. But I'm taking that initiative to try to create the next step with these relationships and see where it goes. But at the same time, if I reached out to him for a second time and he's not available, I'm going to kind of put the ball in his court without saying it to reach out to me, because I'm not going to keep trying to pull and drag you to hang out with me. Like I need the individual to also be interested in and wanting to put that energy into me. So just being mindful that it is a dance, that you need to put in some energy, but also the energy needs to be reciprocated back to you. And if it isn't, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. So with all that being said, I hope this has been a good reminder of why community is important, how you can cultivate community, how it takes time, and some of the strategies that I have used to create community here in Austin over the last 8 months. It's been such a beautiful journey, and I can't wait to see what it continues to cultivate in the near future. If you enjoy this episode, all that I ask, please just drop a rating or review on whatever platform you're listening in on. It helps me so much. So please do so today. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you on the next one. It's the Bearded Man Podcast.